Good afternoon, sixth graders. Today we're going to learn about least common multiple. So if you would go to your table of contents and put down least common multiple, and then you can put the initials LCM, and it will be on page 9 and 10. Okay. After you do that, we have a couple of definitions we need to start with. So I want you to copy these down in box number 1. You're going to have 6 boxes again for today. So set up your boxes. This will be box number 1. A multiple is the product of the number and another number. Okay, so for example, 9 is a multiple of 3 because we can multiply 3 by 3 and it equals 9. Okay, 24 is also a multiple of 3 because we multiply 3 by 8 and we get 24. Okay, so that's what a multiple, it's basically like your times tables. Okay, so copy that definition down and then turn the tape back on when you're finished. Okay, for a second definition, it's least common multiple, or we call it the LCM. And it's the least number that is a multiple of all the numbers. Okay? So those are your 2 definitions, and you need to make sure you have them both written down and so you can refer back to them. After you finish copying these, then you can go on to, you can push play again. Okay, so I'm going to show you 3 different ways to find the LCM. The first way is by listing. We'll just call it by listing. And what you do is you take the numbers that you're looking for, and like 3 and 4, you're looking at the multiples of 3 and 4, and you list all their multiples. So the multiples of 3 are 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18, 24, 21, 24, sorry. Multiples of 4, then you list all those out. And then you look for the common ones. So the common ones, we have a 12 here and a 12 here. We have a 24 here and a 24 here. And then you're going to, after you circle all the common ones, you're going to look for the lowest number of those. So the LCM of 3 and 4 is going to be the lowest number, which will be 12. So the LCM of 3 and 4 is 12. Okay. Now let's try it with the LCM of 4 and 5. So again, we list the multiples of 4. So we list 4, 8, 12, 16, 20, 24, 28, 32. Then you list the multiples of 5, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35. Okay, and guys, I do want you writing all of this information in your square because it will help you greatly when you're going back to refer to it when you're doing the classwork, okay? So write all those down. You can stop and start the video as many times as you need to, okay? All right, so we're going to circle the common multiples. We'll just start with common. Let's see, all I see is 20. And because I don't see any more, I know that that's also the LCM. So the LCM of 4 and 5 is 20. It's the least common multiple. Okay, remember common. They both have to have it as a multiple. Okay, the second method I'm going to show you is the tree method, and you've probably learned this method in previous grades, hopefully. The teachers touched on it. So the tree method, we call it that because it kind of looks like a Christmas tree when we're done. So you do each one on its own. So 28, what multiplied by each other equals 28, and I'm hoping I can fit it in this small space with my big stylus. So I always like to pick a prime number, so we're going to go with 2. 2 times 14. Oh, it's not. There we go. 2 times 14. Sorry about that. Let me erase that too. See if we can get a better one over here. Okay, 2 times 14, we'll drag that there. Okay, so 2 is a prime number, so it doesn't go any further. And then what two numbers equal 14? 2 is a prime. We always try and start with the primes. 2, 3, 5, 7. You always want to start with those. And 2 times 7 is a prime number. Or they're both all primes, okay? So then we're going to do 36. So we'll start with 2. 2 times 18. 2's primes, we don't need to go any further. Oh goodness. Let me try that again. Get my eraser. I need to get a skinny stylus. Okay. Okay, so then we break 18 down. We do 2 times 9. And 2 is prime, so we stop there. And then 9 is 3 times 3, which are both prime numbers. Okay, so after we do that, let's go over, hopefully it will show up this time. Last time it didn't show up. I need a little space to the side here. So we're going to list the multiples. So we're going to go 2 times 2 times 7. And then we're going to go 2 times 2 times 3 times 3. Okay? Now we search for the common ones. And then we just, this is common. Okay, nothing else is in common. And so we, then we list them all. So the LCM of 28 and 36 is we only list the 2, we only list this 2 and this 2 one time. Okay, so we're going to go 2 times 2 times 3 times 3 times 7. So this is where we got all those numbers right here. But the common ones we only list once. Okay, then you multiply all of these together, and that gives you the grand total of 252 as the LCM. Okay, all right, we're going to try another one, and then we're also going to do some samples. We'll do some samples in the other boxes, and then we'll also do some samples in class. Okay, all right, so we're going to try 16 and 24. Again, I like to start with 2 if it's an even number. Here's 2 times 8, and then 8 is 2 times 4. Oops, that 4 didn't show up very well. And then 2 times 2. Okay, and 24 is 2 times 12. 2 times 6. Ooh, I'm getting better at the stylus. And then 2 times 3. Okay, so to find the LCM, we're going to list those numbers. Let me see if I can do it right here. Okay, so we have 2 times 2 times 2 times 2. That's 4 of them. And we have 2 times 2 times 2 times 3. Okay, so our common ones are right here, and right here. So we're only going to list those one time. So the LCM of 16 and 24 is going to be 2 times 2 times 2 times 2, which is this one right here, times 3. Do you guys follow that? Okay, so this is one and this is one separate. Okay, so that's where I got my numbers. So when we multiply all these by each other, 2 times 2 times 2 times 2 times 3, it's going to give us, wait, where did I get that? Okay, so now I have to do it. I thought I had it written out. Sorry, guys. Okay, sorry about that. So that grand total is 48. So the LCM of 16 and 24 is 48. Okay, which means that 16 and 24 will both go into that number. Okay, our final method is the birthday cake method, or the ladder method. You could call, it's been called both, and it is my very favorite. Okay, so Mrs. Hebert showed you how to find the greatest common factor with the ladder method, and I'm going to show you something about how to find the least common multiple. Okay, so we're going to do 28 and 36. And what you're going to do, and it's called the ladder or birthday cake method because it looks like an upside down ladder or birthday cake when you're done. Okay, so we're going to draw a line underneath both. And you have to do a prime number. So what prime number goes into both 28 and 36? And that would be 2. And 2 goes into 28 14 times. And it goes into 36 18 times. Okay, and we're going to stop right there and draw another line. What prime number goes into 14 and 18? Well, that's 2 again. And 2 goes in here 7 times. And into 18 9 times. Okay, now there is no number besides 1, which doesn't count. There is no number that goes into both 7 and 9, so we're done. Okay, now to find the LCM, you just take the numbers on the outside and you kind of make what looks like an L. So I'm going to circle these, and it looks like an L, right? Well, those are the numbers that you multiply. 2 times 2 times 7 times 9. And that equals 2 times 2 times 7 times 9 equals 252. How short and simple was that? I'm telling you, I love it. Okay, so we're going to try another one, 14 and 21. Okay, so let me draw my line underneath it. What number goes into both 14 and 21? Well, it is 7. We had to go all the way to 7, but we can do it. 7 goes into 14 2 times. 7 goes into 21 3 times. There's nothing besides 1 that goes into 2 and 3. And so I'm going to make my little L. And then I'm going to multiply. Oops, let me go back to block. 7 times 2 times 3. And 7 times 2 times 3 is 42. And that, my friends, is the LCM of 14 and 21. Both 14 and 21 can go into 42. I'm telling you, that's why I love this so much. Now, just a reminder, when Mrs. Hebert was showing you greatest common factor, the greatest common factor numbers are the numbers on the left. So you only multiply 2 times 2. So the greatest common factor of 28 and 36 would be 4, because 2 times 2 is 4. Okay, and the greatest common factor of 14 and 21 is 7. Okay, so greatest common factor is the numbers on the left. LCM, you make an L and you get all the numbers around the outside. Okay, let's try some examples. Okay, so I'm going to do the LCM of 12 and 18. I'm going to do both the tree method and... Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to find the LCM of 12 and 18, and I'm going to do both the tree method and the birthday cake method. Okay, so let's start with the tree method. Why is this moving? There we go. Okay, so let's see. 12 is 2 times 6, and then 6 is 2 times 3. 18 is 2 times 9. I could have also done 3 times 6. That works as well. And then 9 is 3 times 3. Okay, now let's write them out. 2 times 2 times 3. Sorry, that 2 didn't turn out very well. And then my other one, 2 times 3 times 3. Okay, the ones that are in common are right here. So we'll list that one time only. And the 3's, we'll list that one time only. Okay, so we're going to write it out here. 2 times 2 times 3 times 3 equals 144. So that's the LCM of 12 and 18. Now let me show you the birthday cake method. And we're going to come out with the same answer, but I just want to show you that it's the same. Okay, so into 12 and 18, let's do 3. I'm tired of 2's. So 3 goes into here to 12 4 times. It goes into 18 6 times. And what number goes into both 4 and 6? Well, that's a 2. So we'll go back to 2. 2 goes into 4 2 times. 2 goes into 6 3 times. And then we make our L for the LCM. And I multiply all those numbers by each other. 3 times 2 times 2 times 3. You'll notice we have the same exact numbers, but we got them so much faster. Birthday cake way. Okay, and it's 144, so that's the LCM. Okay, we're going to do one more example. And again, I'll do birthday cake and tree method. Okay, so we're going to start with tree method. 12 is 2 times 6. And 2 times 6 is 2 times 3. 30 is 3 times 10. You could have also done 2 times 15. It doesn't matter. As I really like to go with a prime number. You don't have to do a prime number, but it just makes it simpler. 10 is 2 times 5. Those are both prime, and so we stop. Okay, so now let's list them. 2 times 2 times 3. Sorry about. And then we have, I like to list them from least to greatest too. 2 times 3 times 5. Okay, so the numbers we have in common are the 2's and then the 3's. And we'll just list them once. So we're going to do 2 times 2 times 3 times 5. And that will equal, okay, so that equals 60. So that is the least common multiple of 12 and 30. They both go into 60. Okay, now let's try the birthday cake. We'll draw our line under here. 3 goes into both of those. Let's go with the 3. 3 goes in here 4 times. It goes into 30 10 times. And then we have 2. 2 goes into 4 2 times. Goes into 10 5 times. And that's what we have. We have 3 times 2 times 2 times 5. Oops, I forgot to draw my L. I like to draw my L. Okay, and 3 times 2 times 2 times 5 is 60 as well. Okay, so those are your samples, and be ready to do some more tomorrow. See you then.